Welcome back to Game Point, man. I'm him. Good night.
What up, a chili? Your boy is C-Bo.
And this is Game Point Sports, man.
Hey, where we keep the game
On point. Check it out. Here at the AHRR Network, we like you to like, share, comment, repeat, retweet, and do it all again. He said he was chilly. He might be chilly because Houston is down there.
We ain't talking. Houston got problems, man. We got problems, man. Something about Houston, this whole... Look, Houston is a mess right now,
Houston's
man.
bad. It's bad to be in Houston right now.
You can't even get a good po' boy out there, man. You can't even shoot a good game of dice out there, man.
Hey, man.
You can't shoot no CeeLo, nothing out there, man. Can't get a good win. Everything about it.
You still get a good smoked turkey leg, man.
Nah, I'm not even getting no smoked turkey leg from Houston. I'm going down there. I'm just moving over one. I'm going over to New Orleans, man. They're going to take care of me out there.
They're going to New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans. But what it do, Ski, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How you doing, man? We took a week off, man. We backing on the attack in this cold November weather, man. It's snowing out here in the CO.
And I'm in here now watching the game. So you know I'm out here and I'm dedicated for this run. So I need y'all on there right now, logging in, saying shout out Sebo, man. Appreciate you coming in. Shout out M Night. Appreciate y'all coming in, and we're gonna rock, man. We got a couple things to talk about.
Hey, first of all, man, we want to start it off with a rest in peace to Takeoff.
Rest in peace, Takeoff, man.
Man,
you got shortchanged out there.
I wanted to start off with a question to you. Is being a rapper one of the most dangerous professions in America right now?
Negative.
Not
at all, man. Not at all. Because I think there are a small percentage of what's happening in our communities doing the same thing without rap. You know, I think a lot of us, and a lot of us who come from the communities that these rappers support, and a lot of us who come from the communities that these rappers have their influences from and in. I mean, we see it every day.
Yeah, I mean, we do see it every day.
And every day, every week.
But to say being a rapper, that be your profession, you're a rapper, and a lot of them are just going down, man. Like, they going down. So I'm saying it may not be that.
Listen, I'd rather be a rapper than to be trying to a crab catcher on the Barren Strait Reef or something. Like, that's some horrible jobs out there. You could be a window cleaner.
But you usually coming home.
Nah, I mean, look, you can come home. There's a lot of rappers that come home every day because they don't even go out. There's a lot of rappers, talented rappers, marquee, crossover rappers who come home every day.
True.
These, and I'm not taking anything away from any of these young men who've been out there, creating music and changing the lifestyle for themselves and their families, but what are y'all talking about? You can't talk about Dracos and don't think that you're not in a Draco situation at any point. And I'm just saying, J. Cole ain't shooting dice outside of a bowling alley.
Facts.
In Houston. Kendrick Lamar ain't doing that. We can go down a list of some rappers who don't do that.
True indeed.
So, but that takes nothing away from the senseless acts of violence that we keep inflicting on each other, man. And I mean, there's nothing about that we should really be proud about. And, I just think, rest in peace. But, if we had the clip set up, man, I would definitely like to hear something that Deion Sanders, Coach Prime was telling his people, because I think that was a great segue into what we need to be really focused on, not just as football players, but just as young men and women.
Men in general, especially in our community, the way that we go down in gun violence, we got it queued up, man. So let's
run that and then let's
see what Coach Prime got to say.
You know what I mean?
People that are influential to you are leaving us consistently. That's our rappers. Takeoff was murdered in a dice game in Houston, where we're going. So that eliminates all y'all leaving that hotel, because it ain't happening until I give you further notice. So whatever her name is, whoever she is, parents, everybody, they're gonna come to the hotel to visit you because y'all ain't leaving. Sooner or later, we gotta start changing our addresses, guys. That's an analogy to saying, I know we this, but we ain't that. We got to leave that behind that we once did. And that's what you guys are. Now you guys are Jackson State royalty. You ain't know, man. You're not whoever you were a year ago. You're not even who you're going to be a year from now, which is a blessing. But you can't continuously do the things you've always done and expect to get the results. It's going to have to be a change. All of us have gone through drastic changes. Have we, coaches? Have we, coaches? All of us are still evolving into what God has called us to be, and that's change. You cannot kick it with the same dudes you kicked it with. You cannot kick it with the multitude of women that you kick it with. You cannot associate in the same realms that you associate with. You're going to have to change if you expect change. You can't do it. It's going to come to a time, they can talk about you, they can mock you, they can ridicule you, they can cuss you out, they can clown you, whatever they want. But you're going to have to separate sooner or later. You're going to have to disconnect. Sooner or later, you're going to have to. So get that in your spirit. I'm sad because it just seems like it's always up.
Shit, man. Dion went deep real quick. I mean, deep but true, man. What you think about that?
I think we owe that as any parent, any father, any teacher, anybody who's mastered their craft. If you're not talking to young men and women like that, then you ain't doing a lot.
I mean, he's doing right.
You're not rich.
He's doing right. He's kicking knowledge.
That's rich right there. That's rich. And I appreciate, that. And not only that, but shout out to the coach Coach Prime for saying they can still come back to the hotel.
Yeah.
He said you can still come back to the hotel.
You're not going out.
You was at one of them, one of them other schools and perennials. They was locking all doors. You had no access. He said you can come back to the hotel.
Bring them in.
Even if he was talking about your moms.
Bring them out, he said.
He just said, y'all ain't going out. And that's legit. And shout out to my peoples out in Houston. You know who you are. You my guy for real. A couple of y'all out there, but y'all doing too much, man. At the end of the day, y'all doing too much. And I think we have to really start setting a trend for what's acceptable for our community. I mean, if we're going to say that music is an art and it doesn't imitate life, then y'all got to move that way. You don't see Arnold Schwarzenegger walking around with an AR-15 on his way to the bank, or the 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee. So you can't say it's art, but then you imitating that art because then, it defeats that's why they're trying to use that in court right now because they're saying there's no cut.
Yeah, hey, real talk, yeah.
Y'all just let the film run. There ain't no cut. You got to be at some point where you say cut and then there's a different lifestyle. But if you rap the way you live, then that's really what they consider, art imitating life. And y'all got to, just understand that there's all the stuff that you talk about in them raps is what really happens out here, man. If that's how you living, there just needs to be a cut.
Definitely. And shouts out to Dion, man. And hey, if you rich and famous, man, I guess it's a lesson, man. Stay out the streets, man. Stay out the streets. But let's move on.
Yeah, for sure.
But once again, rest in peace, man. Take off, man. He was the most silent.
I mean, if any of my Eagle fans out there, man, real quick before we get too deep in, the score's tied and went in the half, man. I'm not gonna get into all that because, like I told you, I'm on. I got a timeout with Houston, so that team that starts with H, that city that starts with H. I ain't even gonna call them what they are right now. Y'all on timeout. That city that starts with H. I'm on timeout with y'all, but y'all tied with us. It is what it is. You know what happens in the second half if y'all make the right adjustments.
Shouts out to the Texans, man, for making in the game a good Thursday night game, at least, because most of them have been whack. The Broncos being a subject, a few of them, and that's what they do. Pretty whack right now.
Let's talk about it, man. What's going on?
Let's talk about Kyrie Irving, man. Kyrie Irving and Adam Silver. Anti-sentimentism, right?
Well, anti-Semitic. Which is basically saying that you have some kind of either hate, ill will, or an attack on the Jewish community. And I will just say this, and then I want to ask you, I'm going to spin that question for you. Why we always got to apologize for everything to stay rich? Because at the end of the day, we don't never have to apologize for nothing if we stay broke. How many situations we got to have come up where every time we get a couple of dollars, we got to apologize for everything we say, everywhere we go, everything we do? Like, I'm not saying Kyrie, because that is our focus right now, is not in breach of, the morality code of his contract that he signed, if that's even in there. What I'm saying is that why we always got to apologize. And so my question to you is, does Kyrie have something to apologize for?
I don't.
First off,
I haven't seen the movie. He Wake Up Black America. I haven't seen it. Did you watch it?
I've not.
I guess I'm gonna have to watch it and just see what's really going down. Maybe Kyrie was really just putting his boy on or something like that. But ain't no telling. I don't think he was wrong. I don't think he should have to apologize because he really didn't say much. All he did was, hey, watch this movie and sent out the tweet. So I don't think he should have to apologize.
What do you think he should have to do?
I don't think he should have to do anything. I mean, the definition of what? Anti-Semitism or anti-Semitic hostility or prejudice against Jewish people, right? Basically, I mean, they're saying that he promoted a movie publicly that had anti-Semitism. So cinematic view. So I don't think that he's wrong. I don't racist just be. I would just say racist views, right? How do the Jewish people get to have their own word for racism?
I mean, to begin with, but I mean, I think this is part of where, and this is all the talks, and like every time he come in, like they got enough stuff going on with that team over there. If we're talking about where you have a press conference for how y'all performed and what is you all's goals for the near future, short and long, you know, and you're like, okay, cool and all that, man, but you know, what's up with this movie? Do you support it? Are you them? Is that your fault? Do you blame them? Are you wrong? Is it right? Is Semitism something that we support or you support? And it's like they hold you to these. They did it with Kanye. They did it with, you know, several of prominent Black Americans who were in a position to be or stay rich, and they have these conversations. When Dave Chappelle left and went to Africa, they was like, oh no, what is the one thing out of all those scenarios that I just brought up that they say about them when they try to take your money away? What do they call you?
Crazy.
They say you crazy, and it's like this little play word I could throw in there and be like, oh yeah, you crazy, and I cleared out your bank account, and then everybody like, yeah, you should have cleared out his bank account because he's crazy. You know, and you know when there was a cry for Britney when they was clearing out her bank account and allocating her funds and making her tap dance and stuff. You know, hit me baby one more time. They was like, that's enough.
And they gave her money back.
That's enough. No more babies. No more hitting the baby. Right?
Yeah, they gave her bread back.
And we would just be like, hey, look, man, it's, you know, if you say the J word nowadays, man, you know, you come home, your license off. You can't even say the J word, let alone, I've yet to hear on any of these scenarios where they said, one person said something like, you know, the J word, they should be attacked, they should be less than, they should be, you know, singled out, they should be anything. It's just like, man, why are they on all our contracts?
I mean,
that's the one thing that I've heard that's been consistent. It's like, why are they on our contracts? Why are they always in a position where they are in control of our expression of freedom? And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing for them, and I'm not taking away the opportunities that they've had to overcome to be in positions to finance some of our creative direction. What I'm just saying is, if you say it, does that mean we got to get to clearing out your bank accounts? And if Kyrie, again, if we're going to stick with Kyrie, if you post a movie and say nothing, but post a movie and it's like, well, I interpreted there were some things in that movie that could be considered XYZ. How many movies can you show me right now that is appealing or has no impact to no race on earth? Some race and some religion, it can be impacted by every movie that's out there.
Yes, and it's all a matter of perception. People see things a certain way.
You know what it sound like is like, I don't want y'all to have money and have the ability to be able to rally. I don't want y'all to have money and have the ability to be able to assemble. I don't want y'all to have money and have the ability to be able to change a course or path that may benefit one that's in favor of you and not benefit another that's in favor of us. And if you do, we could just throw that C word out there, since we're just saying the beginning of everything. We could say that C word that now says that we get to take all your money because you used the J word. And at no time have I ever, and again, if I'm wrong, called out, I might take some time this weekend, watch the movie and see if I hear different. But I've watched all movies and they've had something that could have been offensive to everybody.
Definitely, man. It's I mean, definitely. I just think it's all a perception, but I also think that with things like this, with the AHRR Network and things like this, it's time to change the narrative, and where we're able to say what we want to say without being persecuted like that.
Well, if they said, I'm taking you $140 million out of Chase and you go put it in one of these black banks in America, and be like, all right, cool, we'll take it so that you can stop leveraging my $140 million and I'll put it over here, and then let them leverage it and play with it. What if they just like, man, we're not going to let you on our studio to make films anymore because we don't like that you try to, congregate or bring light to a situation that may not be in your favor. Okay, we're going to go over to your boy with the studio, Tyler Perry's studio. What if they just like, and they continue to do that, and they say, you can't go to our hospital. Okay, we'll go to our hospital. We'll just continue to do that. And again, not on terms that we're not saying y'all don't have a good hospital. We have an alternative, so we do have an opportunity to be able to speak and be able to create and invest in things that's in our favor, because I feel like they've had a big head start on that.
They had a head start on everything, basically. So I'm definitely with that.
Sorry.
Man, where am I?
That I'm not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Apologize. I'm not.
Sorry, not sorry. Man, where my comments go?
All right, so if y'all ain't chimed in now, y'all gonna chime in here in a minute, and I don't want it to get too political because at the end of the day,
okay,
we have some views on things, and when we talk about some of these, they're hot button topics. But I do think in the question I asked you,
Mr. G said, "What's up, y'all?" Kels is him said, I think he's going back to the Migos thing. It's the lifestyles that come with it when he's talking about people dying. Once you get a certain point of life or tax bracket, you got to move differently and can't surround yourself with people that have nothing to lose. Johnny Doe said that was crazy, and then he also commented on what you said. Right? Why are we always apologizing? Building Growth says, "Hell nah." Building,
when you don't have to apologize. Who said that?
Huh?
Who's the one that said why we always apologize?
Yeah, Johnny Doe.
Johnny Doe. We don't have to apologize when we broke. You don't never have to apologize for being broke, except for to your family. Yeah. But if you get rich and you get some paper, you got to apologize to all races, religions, and creeds. Every time you spend money, anytime you flash money, anytime you invest money, it's always, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Look at me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm just over here being rich. Excuse me. You broke? Get out the way.
Get out the way.
Ain't apologizing for nothing. But anyway, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna do this. We're gonna have to set a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
This is game point where we keep the game on point. So let's keep it moving.
Check it out, man. We gonna stay with Brooklyn, right? Stay with Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It's fired Steve Nash. And next thing you know,
did they fire him or did they mutually agree to separate? You know what that reminds me of is when y'all go out there and post something like, yeah, we agreed that we were gonna break up or get a divorce. No, one of y'all said it first. Don't ever say different. You ain't never broke up at the same time. Like, hey, I want to tell you something. What is it? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's break up. Let's break up. Let's break up.
Definitely.
No, somebody brought it up and it kept some wheels on it. And I'm just saying this situation, it was brought to the attention that they are heavily invested in Kevin Durant. And they had already took a risk in an unproven coach with Nash. And unfortunately, when those decisions happen, low man gotta go.
They all started off. Kyrie said, "Hey, we don't really need a coach. I'll coach one night. Durant will coach one night. Steve will coach another night. This is how it's gonna work." Steve Nash already walked in there. He already walked in there in a bad situation, and that's just the way it happens.
Ain't that too bad? Where you have one of the greatest, arguably one of the greatest players in the game that's not coachable. Name a Hall of Fame coach that LeBron has played for. I'll wait.
None.
A Hall of Fame coach.
None.
Okay, but why is it that he can seem to work with, what will be considered scraps in the coaching game? There's not these kind of conversations going on.
Are we talking about Durant or are we talking about Kyrie?
Oh, we talking about Durant, but what I'm saying is when I brought up LeBron,
because I would say Kyrie's one of the best in the game, and he can't be coached either.
I mean, you just saying who's arguably? I mean, I would not say because Kyrie wasn't even selected as top 75. He ain't got no jacket.
I mean, that's
he ain't got no jacket,
and that's basically based on the things that he says.
No, what it is that he got a mean crossover and a smooth jumper, but when it comes to staying in the game, he's had some issues with that. His injury, he's injury prone.
Injury, he'll take a week off whenever he feels like it.
And recently, in the last couple of years, he has definitely put himself in a position where, he's making personal decisions to keep him off the court. But, there was nothing outside of his physical inabilities. He was hurt, man. He's a load. He's a hell of a player, healthy.
You're talking about a 30-point scorer right now who nobody would trade for him.
I wouldn't want him.
Nobody would trade for him.
I don't want him. And
he's averaging 30 right now.
I don't even want Kevin Durant, and he averaging 32.
I'll take KD. I don't
want him.
But let's go on. Let's talk about this.
I just seen that snippet. You showed the coach. They showed the coach.
Let's talk about this Ime Udoka, right?
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about. I thought he was just suspended.
He ain't even 10 games in.
I mean, I thought he was just suspended though. Like,
there's still some details around that.
So are they gonna have to make a trade for him? Or
I don't know.
I mean, what are
trade coaches? How does that work?
John Gruden was traded.
He was traded from what? The sideline? John Gruden was over there. No,
John Gruden was traded from the Raiders to the Bucks. They had to give up compensation to get John Gruden.
The verbiage that you're using though has got to be just over here, just outside thinking out loud. Like, what? How do you trade a coach?
Whenever the barter system is compensation.
Like you could trade let me get your offensive coordinator, you get my offensive coordinator.
Hey, that type of thing works.
I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that process.
It happened though. It happened.
But what I will say is that Ime Udoka is probably the only coach active and available right now that could be able to put those pieces into a certain soup or stew that's going to actually taste good.
He's still the suspended coach for the Celtics, though.
I don't know if this year.
No, they're talking about any day now. He's about to be the coach.
There's a lot of details still to be released on that.
So is he fired yet?
They haven't fired him. And that's the crazy part about it is that technically if they haven't fired him, now if they fire him, then you can't be suspended on a team that you fired from. So if they fire him, and I think that's maybe what they're in talks for right now to say, hey, look, you can't suspend me from a job I'm fired from.
So is it the type of suspension like I don't know if you've ever been on like they'd be like, oh man,
administrative leave.
We're gonna put you on suspension, you know what I'm saying, for 3 days and do an or we're gonna go through some stuff and then you come back and you let go.
That's only if you're trying to stay at that job. You can quit whenever you want.
Well, he might as well quit. He should have quit it off top.
You can't make me not quit.
He should have quit off top.
If it's between skill and will, my will has run its course. So you can't make me not quit.
So do you think that he's gonna be do you think that he's the coach that can get the best out of those guys?
This is what it sounds like to me, and I mean some of you all who sports aficionados, you might be adding more to it. You can't make me not quit. And so I'd be suspended if I was staying with the team. So you can either fire me and then I go over here to these dudes, or I'll quit and forego my contract. Because the thing is, if they fire him, they got to pay him.
Yeah.
So if they fire him, they got to pay him. But if I quit, I don't get nothing. But if I quit, it's so I can go ahead and take.
They're gonna hit him with the.
I can take a contract with Brooklyn.
Conduct detrimental to the team to where they won't.
Yeah, but the NBA ain't got nothing to do with that. That's inside of the clubhouse. I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with the NBA.
But I'm pretty sure that Boston has some clause of saying that you do something detrimental to the team in the contract that's deemed detrimental to the team, you can be fired.
It's consensual though. I mean, they're gonna play a fact that what may come up is that she was. And anytime you do anything with anybody that's under that you can hire or fire, you do have some penalty. But the penalty is only going to be on terms that they could fire you. And that's what I'm saying. Fire me, and then you pay me. But if you fire me under the terms of the clause of saying that, anybody look, and yeah, look. I'll tell you guys this right now. I've been in leadership at some places for a long time. You cannot be fraternizing with nobody you can hire or fire. Be clear on that, and be a part of that decision. If you fraternizing with them, just know, it's a setup.
It could be a problem.
It's a setup. So back to this situation with them. Now, the key is that you can't. He's only suspended for a year or this year if he stay with the Celtics. Yeah. I, within my own free will, can quit and forego my contract.
Definitely.
And then Boston right now could probably be looking at the numbers and what they look like if they pick him up right now. Or they can fire him under something that could be like, like you said, some conflict of his contract terms, and then they don't have to pay him. But either way, he can go on. I personally would just quit.
I would too.
I quit.
Yeah,
I don't even want that on my record.
Go give me this bag. Go give me this bag in Brooklyn, and I'm out, man. We in the NBA. We in the NBA, man. You brought something to my eye. Josh Primo.
My Spurs, man. Just when we start to get something over, we finally over 500. We been getting scraped the last season or two, man. We can't get it going. And we get over 500, and I guess, Joshua Primo, man, he been leaving that
he's hanging out with his wang out.
Yeah, but the team psychiatrist said that she has brought this up before, and they said they was going to do an investigation, and she was like, I was waiting for some kind of results from the investigation. Nothing happened, and during the time that you all said that this was under investigation, he done showed me the thing 9 times. 9 times. and he was like, nah. From his attorney said he was wearing loose shorts. These young men nowadays, as you stated, they be keeping them high thighs, them fives. Yeah. They be having them fives on.
Yeah.
And he said, anything can happen. He said, I'm blessed.
Hey, when you sit back and like this with your shorts on, something might.
He said, so she just happened to see his blessings. So, and, she had it. But he's released from the team. Yeah. And I'm going to say this to you, and then you can go ahead and fill that in. He got released from the team because there was another female party that's a part of the franchise club who said she's seen his blessings too. And they said that's it.
Her name is Dr. Hillary Carlton. She said he's exposed himself 9 times, as you would say. Primo denies saying she is playing to ugly stereotypes and racially charged fears for her own financial benefit. He's calling it an act of betrayal against the client.
9 times is a lot of times.
That's a lot of times.
And if she's got documentation for any more than 2 or 3 of them, the Spurs, this is not the best look for us. I will say that. It's not the best look for us, but we've gone a long time without scandal and controversy. So if there happen to be some where, blessings was shown, I will just say that that's not something we're proud of. He was, obviously, but we're, as a franchise, we're not necessarily proud of that. And I had a lot of high hopes for him because he was a troubled kid who really was kind of getting off, man. But
Tommy Clouser said, "Isn't that what Deshaun Watson was just going through?" And actually, she does. She has the same lawyer that all the Deshaun Watson clients had. Also, Tony Busby, don't fuck around with him.
Tony Busby,
he trying to get people paid.
He must not have a lot of blessings.
He
must not be blessed. You doing the devil's work, bro.
He's playing with people's eggplants, man.
Yeah, but that's unfortunate. Hopefully, that's why we do have courts of law, and take that shit to trial.
I mean, once again, it's another civil. I mean, there's nothing criminally been brought yet, so it's something civil. It's all about the bread.
It's blessings. It's a B word. May not be bread, but it's blessings.
Hey, man, maybe he thought she wanted to see. I mean, she's a 40-year-old. She's not even that old. So Shouts out, man. Before we get to the second half and talk this NFL, man, I want to drop a couple gems on y'all with our history sports,
Yeah,
right?
man, for sure. I'm always excited about that.
So 1996 was a big year in our history, right? So Jerry Rice, on today, he became the first player to receive 1,000 receptions throughout his career. First player to get 1,000 receptions throughout his career. And also, this same day, Kobe Bryant became the youngest player in the NBA to make his NBA debut. You're talking about two legends right there. 18 years, 2 months is what Kobe Bryant was.
Yeah. You know, it's cool to be like, you know, as a fan to watch great players. But, you know, it sucks when you got to play with them or be coached by them because they be hard on you. They be like, fly. Yeah. Like, man, we don't all fly. I walked here.
Yeah, we're all not you.
Yeah, we don't all fly.
Yeah.
You know, captain, you know, but, you know, it's good to watch them. But, woo, to be their teammate.
I wouldn't want to be
coached by them.
I heard Kobe wasn't no joke as a teammate.
Not at all. You know, when the Lakers, they won that first game this season, they started spraying each other like, Kobe would have been there hot. He wouldn't even blink.
Kobe would have been.
He just had champagne, hit the right in his unblinking eye. Like, man, y'all happy? Like, kind of. Just make you feel all bad.
Kobe would have been like, shit. He'd be like, y'all ain't won shit. Sit down. Sit down.
Champagne hitting you right in your raw eye, and right there, he just been sitting there looking at it the whole time, like, yeah, Kobe ain't happy. Like, damn.
No.
Kobe don't party. Kobe didn't go to the club. Kobe don't celebrate nothing.
Kobe don't play that.
Kobe don't apparently play
Kobe don't play that.
I don't want to play for Kobe, man. I'd rather play for LeBron all day. We're going to have our own little handshake. You know what I'm saying? You know, he gonna have all his boys in at the spot, so you know it's chill. He gonna have you at get-togethers at the house that are safe.
Kobe's all business.
Yeah, you know, you ain't gonna be shooting dice in front of his house. You know, LeBron gonna have a nice, cool. You might be in a Drake video. I want to play with LeBron. I don't want to play with Kobe or Jordan either.
Kobe was all business all the time, man.
I mean, those dudes is great for businesses, you know, but.
Hey, shouts out to LeBron for being another $1 billion athlete. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
him. You know, I want to. We good. Athlete. LeBron, check on us, man. You know, this game point.
Drop it down here, game point. Man. You know what I'm saying?
All the mother ashtrays or motorcycles.
Useless. Check it out, man. We about to go to the second half, but here on our network, we like you to like, share, comment, repeat, retweet, and do it all again. We about to talk that NFL when we get back. Yeah.
Did you know mental health can be hard to identify in a Latinx household due to only wanting to prioritize physical health other than mental health?
We all know an emergency fund is a must. Start small, but think big. It's recommended to start your emergency fund at $500.
What the power of unity looks like is it's a compassionate future. It's an enriching and an empowering future, a safe space for everybody, and that dream world that we all want to live in, that utopia.
Because, shoot, growing up as a black dude, I think I've only seen my dad cry once.
I don't think I've ever seen my dad cry.
Never. Yeah.
I've never seen my dad cry.
Yeah, no.
Never.
I think
Not
I've
once.
only seen him cry once, and I was like at one of his lowest points, and it was, dang, it's funny.
That's not what we do. Have y'all seen y'all dad cry?
Yes.
That's why I'm like, damn.
Oh, yeah, you know, man. Dang, you cry like that?
We finna get this out like
Why is it ground so open? Whose man is that?
Welcome back to the second
Oh,
half of Game
hey.
Point Sports, man. Hey, the sponsors, man. Was brought to you by the Power of One. That segment was brought to you by the Power of One.
Man, Power One, man. Shout out to them, man, because we can't do this without them, man. They the one who got the baton. We can't get to the finish line if somebody don't pass the baton. Shout out to the Eagles, man. AJ Brown, if you started him this week, man, you doing all right?
Doing okay, huh?
You doing all right?
All right, man. Shit. We one more talk with the NBA if you want to get on it, man. Let's talk about the veteran teams who haven't really started off. Everybody starting off slow.
Well, yeah.
Lakers started off.
All of them are
extremely
below
slow.
500. Most of them is below 300 and stuff. You got the
Brooklyn.
Lakers 2-6, I think it is. You got Brooklyn is 2-6. You got Golden State that's 3-5. You know, there's a lot of these veteran teams with these veteran players who are starting off slow. My question to you is that a problem right now?
No.
Is it still too early for that to be an issue?
82 games in the season, not an issue at all.
It's not an issue at all. Okay. I will say that out of those three teams that we mentioned, some of them are doing a little bit worse than others. You know, and I will definitely say right now, the Lakers are probably out of the three, probably the ones that have the most concern around them.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's not going to be a coach that's going to come in like Udoka. There's not going to be, you know, the trades right now or the team, because even with Brooklyn, they have the talent. They're just not playing as a team.
Not at all.
And when I say talent, I mean everybody but Ben Simmons. I want to be clear on that. You're not part of the talent. Like if there was a door that said talent, Ben would not have access.
You go in that other door.
You got to go around. Go that way, B.
Go in that other door.
You're not the talent. But they do have enough perennial talent on that team.
They got talent.
I like Cleveland too right now too. Shout out to Cleveland, man. Y'all balling.
That was a good move bringing in Donovan Mitchell. But you gotta think if Kevin Durant, I believe it was 2 years, was the year I think Milwaukee won.
Mm-hmm.
If Kevin Durant if 1 inch he made that 2.
Okay.
And that one inch would have made it a 3.
Okay.
They would have beat Milwaukee and probably won the finals, and Steve Nash would probably still be there.
That's, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Faded.
Many a drip, like my grandmother used to say, many a drip between the cup and the lip. You know what I mean? There's plenty of spillage between this and this. And so even though it seems like it's close, there's a lot of spillage opportunity between this and this.
I mean,
that
is
what if Ray Allen didn't hit that 3 in the corner?
That is just coincidental.
What if Ray Allen didn't hit that 3 in the corner? My Spurs
y'all would have another one. Yeah, I would
And they had Duncan on the bench. I'm still me and Pop. We had a conversation about that. We talked about it over coffee. But I'm just saying it was if was a spliff, we all
be high as hell.
So
85 tell you the SR5 says no playoffs for the Lakers, not even a play-in game, and I'm definitely with that. The Lakers are in turmoil. They were in turmoil last year, so I mean nothing has really changed. Everything stayed the same. You got Patrick Beverly out there. He shoot worse than Westbrook. So I mean, LeBron has to be a player. LeBron and Westbrook need to be players that are surrounded by shooters, and they don't have shooters over there at all. So the Lakers are in trouble.
Hey, that young man, the little young Caucasian boy that hit the three in the corner, he hit that Ray Allen just last night.
I did see him.
He hit the Ray Allen last night.
He was happy, but you got to do that consistently for 10, 15 years. Man, hey, let's move on to the NFL. We're talking about, we just had the trade deadline last week.
Yeah.
Who was the biggest winners and losers? But I'm gonna bring up a couple names to you. So you got Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
You got Robert Quinn.
Yeah.
To Philly.
Quinn.
So Christian McCaffrey, Robert Quinn, Roquan Smith to the Ravens.
Yeah.
Claypool to the Bears.
Yeah.
Chubb to the Dolphins.
Your boy from the Giants to KC.
Who was that? You got Hawkinson.
T.J. Hawkinson
to Minnesota.
That was a good look. T.J. Hawkinson is a solid tight end
in the same division. That's like
big. You're gonna have to pay for that. But what about the Broncos? What about the Broncos giving up Chubb and getting that number one back? How you feel about that?
Well, I mean, it's a good move by George Payton. As you can see, Chubb just he went over there and he's already signed a $100 million deal. I don't think the Broncos were willing to give him $100 million. Therefore, get something for him instead of getting nothing. And why his value was up this year, he's playing okay this year. He's playing decent this year. Value is up. Go ahead and get a first. Since you didn't have one, even though it's not going to be a high pick, you're still in the first round.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been injured. So, to be able to get him healthy and playing at peak and then get him off, that's cool. But I'm gonna tell you right now, in the NFL, it's a second to first round draft league. Everybody wants those. That's the cream of the crop because everything else comes with a contract and stipulations. If we can give you up or get something for first rounds, that's technically, you don't know what you get. You can get somebody for the first round, they blow their knee out. I don't wish that. But you blow that knee out first game of the season in practice, in 2 days. That could get, it's still high values. First round and second round draft picks is the play. And we were successful as a franchise for my Eagles because we had them with that Wentz trade. And then we had a second that ended up turning into a first because he ended up making it past week 8. And we knew it was a setup where we thought of like, hey, if you make it a week 8, it's gonna be a 1. That's Howie for you. He was really out there negotiating.
I mean, you got to get something, man. I've seen too many times when players they knew they weren't gonna keep, they keep them around for the year, and then they get nothing, and people were upset. So I think it was a good move by George Payton and the Broncos. I don't think the Broncos are giving up on the season, but
what's the best move of the trade?
So I'm gonna go with Christian McCaffrey. I mean, we've already seen him at work,
but they gave up a lot for Christian McCaffrey, though.
But he's a lot. If he's healthy, he's the man. The first player in I believe I can't remember what year, but first player in a while to throw for one, run and catch one, all in the same game.
I mean, but I think, players outside the quarterback throwing for touchdowns is a little gimmicky. I'll be honest.
It's definitely gimmicky. But hey, and he dropped a dime now.
Even though we won a Super Bowl off of that. Shout out to
the Philly special. What was they calling that play?
That's exactly what it's called.
Oh, man.
I will tell you, just as a quick game break, Houston is running the ball.
Yes.
And that is definitely a eye-opening opportunity and situation that we have to make adjustments on.
Hey, make note of it.
But
everybody else is gonna be, so it needs next time y'all see Dallas, y'all can get a lot of Zeke and a lot of Pollard.
Please give us Zeke. We don't want Pollard. Please give us Zeke.
Arion 16 said Lakers overrated. 85 Toyota SR5 says the Dolphins ended up with Waddle, Chubb, and Tyreek Hill for that overall number 3 pick last year. The Dolphins are stacking up.
The Dolphins are stacking up, and KC ain't doing too bad themselves. But the Dolphins are definitely stacking up. I mean, yeah, they are. But as they should too. You know, this is the Eagles showed it in 2017, man. You know, you can just last year the Rams showed you. A lot of people do all this.
You can go.
Houston is doing all right.
You can go from worst to first.
Yeah, but what they're doing is they're not trying to get it all loaded before the season. They're saying, hey, let's just chill, hold some of these draft picks, let the season mature a little bit, and just start putting together a Super Bowl run team for how y'all play and what players are available throughout the season. And it's a formula that seems to be, for the last few years, you know, you picking up Super Bowl players on the way to the Super Bowl, and that's not the worst thing that happened. I mean, they were finding some heat. You know, they got your boy from Von Miller. They got Odell Beckham. They were just picking up these key factors and stuff.
And what they were saying was, though, the GM was like, shit, basically, who needs draft picks? F them draft picks. He said, we going to get it, though. That's what they said. They said, we going to get it. They won the chip, but now they falling off. But they starting to fall off. But who was your biggest NFL trade this year? Who's going to make the biggest difference to you?
I must admit right now, McCaffrey and the 49ers definitely is a game changer just for the impact that he has on the game. You know, his 8, even if you're talking 8 touches on the ball, 10 touches on the ball, are so much more impactful than most 8 to 10 touches on the ball than any other player in the NFL. And when they talk about his health, I think it's because they had him as a workhorse for Carolina. And it's like, yeah, you got this dude touching the rock 30 times.
He was everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for injury. You know, you give him the ball 12, maybe 15 times, you know, that changes you know, his risk. And then not only that, but it really opens the field up because you have to really be able to accept. I mean, you have to really be able to play him in all positions.
And imagine, you know, he played that game when he scored those touchdowns, and Debo wasn't even there. So imagine when Debo comes back, man, it's gonna be, you might put both of them in the backfield. Like Kyle Shanahan, he looked like he knows what to do with it. So shouts out to, I think that's the best move, and I think that Roquan Smith to the Ravens is a big one too.
And the Ravens just had somebody go down. Was it Bateman? Somebody just tore something.
Yeah, his foot. The wide receiver just went down.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Speed recovery.
85 Toyota SR5 says Smith to the Ravens is a perfect fit. And, you know, you got your young Ray Lewis type.
Listen, I say Robert Quinn wasn't bad either. That's a hot one. I mean, that's a hot 2 for me because, I mean, he had 18.5 sacks last year.
Yeah,
I don't think, you know, in the current scheme that the Chicago had him in, you know, maybe he was in the best position to be successful, but to have 18.5 sacks last year and get him for a 4th round?
Yeah, that's a win. But he kind of old, though.
I mean, what's old?
He's almost our age, right?
I mean, I will tell you this. You know you old when there ain't but one person in the league that you watch that still play the game. There ain't but one person
I know what
my age that play in the NFL.
Tom Brady. It'll be Tom Brady. I watched him go from college.
So you know you old when you start looking at your favorite sport and ain't nobody your age playing it.
Shoot, I remember the days like, oh yeah, man, I'm the same age as
I went to school with him. That's my guy. Yeah, you know, we played against him over here. Negative. All them dudes is grandfathers.
I might know his dad.
Speaking of that, some of y'all got some old kids. Like I went to school with some of y'all. I be seeing your kids out in the street. Y'all kids is old as hell, man. I be looking at them. They look like I went to school with them myself. Like,
Well,
where y'all getting these old kids
man.
from, man?
You remember that 9 months that they went around? That's
what was y'all doing? Like, I feel like y'all did something in fifth period I ain't know about because y'all got these kids look like I went to high school with them.
Hey, that's what
my
happened.
Kids old as hell out here, man.
Hey, man. back to
old ass kids.
The free agents. I mean, the trade deadline, right? Who do you think should have made a move that didn't?
Green Bay, for sure.
That's who I'm with. Too.
The Cowboys, for sure. What?
I'm definitely with Green Bay.
Green Bay, if they're gonna say, but this is what they say. They say, "Hey, a receiver ain't gonna change shit." Yeah, but it's a start in the right direction.
Well, obviously, a receiver did change shit because they're looking.
AJ Brown was heaven sent for us. He was heaven sent.
They're looking like they're missing the receiver that they had last year, and then he's having a bad season out there with the Raiders too. Derek Carr can't get on the ball. I think the last game he had 3 targets, 1 reception type thing.
Odell Beckham, heaven sent.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised with a receiver.
You need a receiver, but Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, I see that marriage breaking up.
I mean, nobody Aaron Rodgers just needs to go away,
but
man.
He's kind of like that Kobe type of guy, right?
Yeah, he just need to get back on that Aya Sawaka, whatever that peyote is and shit, man, and just chill, man. Be a little shaman somewhere.
Go hang out with Jake.
Chill out, man. But get them shrooms because Jay them shrooms.
He got the magic mushrooms.
Boomers.
Hey. He's on it.
Boomers.
All right, man. Shit, man. We ain't gonna be here that long. So, man, we gonna get to the top 5.
Yeah, we here for a good time, not a long time.
Our pick 5 and get the F up out of here, man.
Yeah, it's snowing. Shout out, man. I still ain't seen nobody on there that says shout out for y'all coming out in the snow, man. We doing this for y'all, man. We got kids, man. We could have been at the house. We was like, man, we coming in for y'all because we appreciate the opportunity to be able to network, talk, communicate.
Could have been making s'mores right now.
Man, one of them little, right now they got them little chocolate bombs with the little, that you put inside of the hot cocoa, in milk, hot milk, and then it opens up.
It
little
explodes
bombs. It just kind of melts out. Shout out to that. Anybody who's girl or somebody make them little s'more bombs. I need a couple of those.
I'm going to have to get up on that.
Yeah, I got you, man. I'll slide you a couple.
All right, man.
In a turkey leg.
That shit might not be coming in. All right, man. So the pick 5, man, and let us know who y'all got. So you got the Buffalo versus the Jets this week.
Yeah. It's Jets. You are no parts of this, homie.
Jets are not for real.
They're not bad, because I told you if you go back to the first show this season, if y'all find that first show, I said the Jets was going to be where they at. Just know, if you find it, I can't hide the internet. It's there.
I've been looking.
But what I'm saying is, they're where they're supposed to be at, but, sometimes you're in the way of greatness, and I'm telling you right now, Buffalo coming in hot and heavy. You're going to lose. If there's a spread over 10 points, take it.
Hey, Buffalo. Take it. Buffalo's with it. I think the Jets, they're okay. But they're running into it.
They lost Breece Hall too, man, and that was a big loss because Breece Hall was getting it, man. He was one of my pick'ems favorites.
He ran right into a buzzsaw called the Broncos defense. That's what he did.
The Broncos be, man, they'd be ever since Romanowski, y'all be biting people and shit. Y'all be biting people in the pile.
Shit happens.
Y'all be breaking skin.
85 Toyota SR5. He picks Buffalo. I'll pick Buffalo too. Just ain't ready.
There's somebody cousin from Jersey that's the only one that's taking the Jets. But shout out to them. But yeah, it's you run into a buzzsaw. Them cats was out there running.
Let's talk about the battle of Let's talk about the battle in the NFC West. You got the Seahawks and the Cardinals, 2 teams that could be going in opposite ways right now. Seahawks are leading the NFC West, and they beat the Cardinals 3 weeks ago, 19-9.
Seahawks is a very dangerous team right now. They rolling on all cylinders. Their defense is wide awake. Lockett's out there. Making plays. Geno, which we already talked about, is probably the comeback player of the year. Not even in that first without a close second. And then you got Walker the third over there that's out here looking like Terrell Davis Jr.
My son was just telling me about him. Man, definitely Seahawks are looking good. Geno Smith looking like
Seahawks +6.
But I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
Cardinals is almost out of there.
They almost out of there. I think this is
almost out of there.
This is the last.
game.
This is the last.
Like
hurrah.
they need to be able to prove me wrong.
I think only two games separate top from the bottom in that. So
yeah,
this
but look how big that goes if they lose.
It's a big game. So
Big game.
it's a big game. And the NFC West, the Seahawks are the only team that's over 500.
Yeah, they're puker.
You talking about the Rams? You talking about San Francisco?
Puker. No, San Francisco is gonna be all right, but
they're gonna.
I would definitely say that LA is going in the wrong direction.
They're done.
Cardinals is going in the wrong direction, and you definitely have a showdown with San Francisco and Seattle to really be able to get to. It's still week 8.
Have you seen the new memes that came out in this last couple of days? The Russell Wilson memes.
Man, listen,
have you seen
this league is y'all some cold people, man. I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, them costume memes that y'all been putting out there on Russell. That man got kids, man. They going out on Halloween and shit, looking at that kind of stuff, man. They got kids, man. I gotta leave that dude alone. He always been corny. Why y'all trying to make him just now corny?
Have you seen? I didn't know he was corny. So you just
get out of here.
I didn't know he was that guy. Never paid attention to him.
Somebody cut to when he had first got drafted and his girlfriend at the time. But he had kissed her in the mouth after that. Like if my girl did that and I looked over and I seen her face look like that, I would have CD Lamb'd her. I'd have snatched my phone or something.
The biggest meme that I'm talking about right now is I talk about they got the reports are that the Broncos are trying to trade Russell Wilson for Geno Smith. That's the meme that I've been seeing going on. But 85 SR5 says didn't know you could get comeback player of the year by coming back from the bench.
Where else do you come back from?
Injury.
Nah, man, you just wasn't on the field.
Nah, I'm definitely think he's a.
That's all I mean.
He definitely is hands down.
No, that's all I mean. It just mean you back on the field. I mean, you could have been in the booth somewhere, man. You could have been at a cell phone kiosk, right? Y'all know about that.
Yeah. I seen him.
Come back on the field from not being on the field. You put your hat in the ring.
Yeah, you definitely there. But that's a big game in the NFC West. Let's go with the Rams versus the Bucks. The past 2 Super Bowl winners, I believe.
That game should probably be on like Monday night. Like what game? That should be on Monday night.
Both teams trying to stay alive.
Monday night games be pukers.
Who you got?
Say it again out loud. I want to hear it.
Both teams trying to stay alive. Rams versus the Bucks. The Rams are 3-4. The Bucks are 3-5.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I always have lost historically over the last 2 decades when I bet against Tom Brady. It's just he could lose 17 games in a row, and I'll be like, he guaranteed gonna lose 18. That's the game he gonna win. Every time I bet against Tom Brady in 20 years, I've lost money. So if y'all ain't even 20 years old, or if y'all ain't got kids 20 years old, just know ever since before your kids was born and before you were born, every time I have no luck. So I never bet against Tom Brady.
I don't bet with Tom Brady. So you got the Bucks.
I'm taking the Bucks then, because I don't ever bet against them.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks also. I'm gonna go with the Bucks also. I think they might be getting
Bucks by 4. 24. Yeah, Bucks by 4. I get it now. Bucks by 3.
85 SR5 says the Rams, and Johnny Doe says don't bet against Brady.
It's a horrible idea, and I'm just trying to say y'all sometime. Some people probably good. Probably someone out there like I always eat against him. Me every time.
Bucks by 10. Yeah, I mean if you betting against Brady, you gotta have
except for once. I take that back.
You gotta have like an inside trading Martha
Stewart type shit.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I almost got it all back off of one bet when we beat them in the Super Bowl 2018, man. I will say that because I put the farm on it. Like we probably would have had to like leverage something in our house. The kind of betting I did on that Super Bowl, we probably had to leverage something. I had to like take my garage door off and sell it. I put everything on it.
You had to answer some questions, huh?
Yeah, man. There's a couple of y'all. I let a couple of y'all slide, man, because I was,
go get your money, man. Go get your money.
They fell off horribly, man. I seen one of them the other day, like a couple months ago. I almost gave that motherfucker a 20 on top of what he owed me.
Oh, man.
You know you're doing bad when you owe me money and I'm willing to give you money that you didn't ask for.
Hey, squash that.
It's starting to mouth. Fix y'all's mouths, man. Look, when y'all in the late 30s, early 40s, fix your mouth, man. Like, there's no way you should be walking around here with your mouth hanging out, man. Go put something in there, man. I see this mouth. I was like, man, I got this 20 I ain't doing nothing with.
Here's my dentist card.
Man.
Chargers and Falcons. Who you got? Johnny Doe says Bucks by 10. Chargers and Falcons. Chargers are 4-3. Falcons are 4-4. Falcons lead the division, the NFC South right now with a 4-4 record. Chargers 4-3 on the cusp of either staying alive or starting to go down.
I really think Atlanta is playing good football right now. I'll tell you what, I don't want to see them. As an Eagle fan, I'm not in a rush to see them. They playing good football. They run the ball efficiently. They're smart with their play calling. They stay within themselves. Atlanta, I got Atlanta, man. Atlanta's a tough team right now. It's a tough team to play.
Who am I gonna take? 85 Toyota SR5. He picks the Falcons also. Who am I gonna take? I'm gonna take the Chargers right with the AFC West. I just think Herbert, man, it's about time for him to do something. Even though my man Keenan Allen's out again. He's out again. Hurt. Mike Williams might be hurt. I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I'm gonna change that.
Oh, let's go!
I'm gonna go with.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go with the Falcons.
Eagle biz.
Let's go with the game of the week in my eyes. Let's go with the Titans at 5-2 versus the Chiefs at 5-2. We got an AFC showdown. The Titans have won 5 of the last 6 against the Chiefs, and the only one they lost was in the playoffs in 2020 to go to the Super Bowl.
Upset of the week. I got the Titans, man. I'll tell you what you don't want is old boy running downhill. And I'll tell you what, this is right around it. He'll have like these little 3 to 4 week periods each season where he's just like a whole load. And you be like, man, how are you we did everything? And he'll be running slow. You be like, we definitely got him. And you look up 80 yards. You be like, we definitely got him 60 yards. We for sure got him 70 yards. You look at the thing like, hey, Coach, you know he got 250 yards and 17 touchdowns?
I think he's coming off a 200-yard game. I think he just tied he may have tied the Titans record with 200-yard games, or the NFL record with 200-yard games. And let's talk about the Titans real quick and talk about, Oilers / Titans, and just talk about, man, they keep a big bruising back. You go from Earl Campbell, to Eddie George, and now you got Henry. They did have the fast guy, Chris Johnson. I'll tell you this right now. Derrick Henry arguably is one of the greatest running backs of all time. If you start from, his youth league, if you count that shit all the way up through college and the pros, his stats are retarded. His high school stats retarded. His college stats are, and I don't think, can we even use the R word now? They're mentally challenged. His high school stats are mentally challenged. His college stats clearly are mentally challenged. And his pro stats, mentally challenged. Off the charts.
Yeah, so I would definitely say that, he's got stats that have learning disabilities. He's arguably, if you say a back from this time period to that time period, and you put them all in there and start them at least from high school through the pros, there's probably maybe 2 backs on earth that you could even have that same conversation with.
I mean, he's definitely the best in his era and the best if you compare eras, he's the best in a lot of eras.
He's tough.
Jason Scott says Lions. I don't know why he says the Lions, but anyways, I'm gonna go against the AFC West, and I'm gonna pick the Titans because the Titans have with Derrick Henry have that recipe that can beat Kansas City. They you run the ball, keep the ball.
But you know they got that rookie quarterback in there too. I'm really like, this is why I said this upset of the week is because they got that what's his name, Mathis, the rookie guy, Willis or something.
Oh, Willis.
Yeah, Mateus Willis or something like that. Y'all got me. Y'all posted on there. But yeah, little rookie dude, man, he's solid. He's a thick dude too. He looked like lightweight, like a little baby Jalen and shit. But that's a lot of things to come together in such a short time. But I believe that.
I mean, what do you have to do, man? You're gonna be handing the ball off 20 times, 30 times, maybe.
To Henry? Yeah. But the thing is, you got to get Henry on a running start. I ain't gonna lie. If you can get Henry in his first 3 to 4 steps, you stand a chance. 5 and 6, it's a wrap.
Malik Willis.
Right on 85 you stand a shot if you can get Derrick Henry in any steps before 3. 4 is risky. 5 and 6 is a nightmare.
Yeah, you definitely got to get him before he get going, man. But you keep feeding him the ball 9 times out of 10, 9 games out of 10. If you keep feeding the ball, he's gonna wear you down.
He's one of them dudes, man, where it's just like, man, he hit the hole 3 times. You be like, man, stop short, stop long, stop short. You be like, oh yeah, we got some. Pink.
Come to end of third quarter, Pink. About middle of third quarter, you start feeling that big dude. You start feeling him. You decide you're making business decisions. Do I want to tackle him? Do I not want to tackle him? Eagles versus Houston, 29-17.
Yeah, but they just gave us a late hit, and I'm really disappointed about that.
29-17. Shouts out to Ariane 16 for giving us that update. Hey, shout out to everybody for Derrick Henry's not overrated. That's somebody just talking crap. What we gonna say? Hey, that's our show for today, man.
Yeah, man, it's a wrap, man. We about to go home and get some hot cocoa, set up the fire, man. Go chill out like y'all doing right now. Put on some old, what do y'all got on? Some weird draws and in a horrible pair of basketball shorts with the waistband all loose on it right now.
hey, shit.
Loose waistband ass, brother.
And check it out. Look, man, my man behind the scene, man. We're gonna give a shout out to his
give it to him.
He got a movie out, man. We gonna play it, man, on the way out.
Yeah, man, shout out my dude too. Yada, man, he got this OG, man. He out there with the farm, man. I'm gonna go see him. Go check him out on Sunday. If you haven't looked it up, it's OG.com. They got a little situation out there, man. They came out here and did an interview on the AHRR Network just the other day. Man, my dude, man, we've been around for a long, long time, man. You know what I'm talking about, my guy.
But shouts out to my man, Damo, man. We're into the net, into her net,
into her net. That sounds erotic.
It's his movie. And
shouts out the Gray. What is the name of that thing?
The 50 Shades of Grey for black men.
If it's for black men, you got to give them a little more. It's got to be 75 shades. I'm going to give you 50 in the front, 25 on the back of the butt. 25 on the back of the butt.
I got a joke. But shouts out to my man. Shouts out to everybody for tuning in. Man, we just gave you that hour of power. And just keep on checking it out, man. Into Her Net with Damo, man, from Charged Up Films. But check it out.
Damo solid, too.
Game points out, man. Hey, check it out. We like you to like, share, comment, repeat, retweet, and do it again. Woo. And them other podcasts.
It's like ashtrays on a motorcycle, baby.
Useless. And check it out. Game Point, where we always keep the game
on point.
On point. We out.
See it. Behind a clothes rack, you can see 2 bare feet underneath. this isn't the last time they can be seen. As they search a nearby room, the feet can be seen again, this time much closer and visibly barefoot. Later on in the night, one of the two decide to place a camera in the dark and sit in one room, waiting for something to happen. After about 15 minutes, he decided to investigate other rooms, while still remembering to shut all the doors behind him. To the viewer to decide. As you can see, after finding a sealed ventilation duct and pulling the seal off of it, the terrifying voices of people speaking Latin became much clearer and sound as though they were speaking the Trinitarian formula and other religious phrases. Strangely, the voices apparently fell silent abruptly, but that wasn't where the nightmarish experience ended for Jessica. That night, with the bathroom door open and the bathroom light on, a picture was taken of her as she was sleeping, and the person who took the picture was holding a note in front of the camera that said, "It's rude to eavesdrop."
Chris hesitates for a long time before finally uttering her name 3 times. Nothing happens, that is, until he turns around to leave. That's when Jeff sees something.
That just sounds weird.
The horrible recording continues to go.
Not today. Don't need this.
Shakes the thought of his hand and tries to blow out the candles for a 3rd time.
Not getting high enough. The hell? What the hell? No!